Young Johnno. How you going, brother?
Hey, Brady, I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Pretty good weekend for the boys.
Yes.
Pretty cruisy win, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't have to try too hard. We didn't do anything
No,
spectacular.
no, we didn't at
No.
all. It was a weird one. We were just in cruise control the whole game, and Newcastle looked bad, didn't they? They just looked bad.
They, for a team that I thought would have the same level of desperation as the Tigers the week before,
Yeah.
they really didn't show anything, did they?
No, I
It
mean,
was,
we said that going in. We said that they are basically where the Tigers were at before the Tigers ambushed us, and we thought it could be on the cards again, especially with Ponga re-signing to his multi-million-dollar deal. You'd think that they'd be all hyped and ready to go, but it wasn't to be for them. They just kind of fell away a little bit. They had some paper-thin defense and nothing in attack at all, apart from their 2 points, which Gutho handed them. I don't know why he's doing these short kickoffs. I don't know what's going on with those, but I don't know. It was a cruisy win. That's all we could say.
Yeah, it was weird from a Newcastle's perspective. I mean, big crowd. Kalen Ponga's just signed a big deal. You know, it's his chance to go out and prove and show that he's worth the money. You know, everyone's turning up to see him and to celebrate this new contract against a good opponent in us.
Yep.
You know, and you know they're 0-4. They're desperate. Let's show some fight. Let's galvanize the Hunter region.
Yeah.
They come out and they absolutely nothing.
They didn't
Absolutely
have anything.
nothing.
No, they didn't throw anything at us at all. I think it's worrying for them. I mean, for us, well, like I said, it was a hard one. I don't want to be one of those fans that can't celebrate the good times, because I just think we're beyond that. And this is what we were saying before. I just think we're beyond the point of celebrating the wins. We need the premiership, and that's the goal. It's like, it's no longer good enough to just come top four and then bow out in the finals. Like, we need to go deep. We need to get in the grand final. Our team is good enough, although seeing Storm versus Warriors the other night, I don't know. Well, we did beat that Storm team, but they put a 70-point flogging onto the Warriors, and Panthers are looking strong too. They're looking very strong, and we've got them coming in a couple of weeks, and I don't know if we're going to be ready for them, because what we're doing with shuffling deal bags out into the centers is ludicrous, if you ask me. I mean, we have he is just running hot. He's running as hot as Munster at the moment. Like, he is the informed 5'8", him and Munster. He's just spectacular. So what does BA do? Let's throw him out into the centers and completely disrupt him. I mean, there's no way he's going to be able to come back in to the 5'8" position and have full, have his guns blazing against the Panthers. I mean, we've got the Cowboys this week, and then we've got the Panthers, and it's just, the writing's on the wall. I mean, I really want to beat the Panthers. I think we really need to beat them, just to put them in their place, and just so that we get the head of steam going into the finals. I mean, we're a long way from the finals, but you and I both know that Parramatta has a history of slumps in the middle of the season. So what we need to do is we need to roll the Panthers, and then we can go in going, well, we've rolled the top two teams. I mean, we're sitting third. We got beat by Cronulla on the siren. We're a top four team. And with the reshuffle of deal bags, I don't, it's not necessary. Like I know BA's painting the picture that we've got no other choice. We have the choice. We don't need Jake Arthur in the team. I'm sorry. He doesn't need to be there. And, I think he should be at New South Wales Cup honing his skills at halfback, not disrupting the first grade team when he's not ready for it. His kicks are too long. He's putting his head in the wrong place for tackles. He's going to knock himself out. He's dropping the ball, forward passing. I mean, and that's all stuff you learn to master in New South Wales Cup at that level. And once again, I know we say this week in, week out, I believe Jake Arthur's going to be a great player. I honestly do, but he needs to get a bit bigger and he needs to hone his skills. He needs another year or two in New South Wales and then, bring him in when Mitch is out. So rant over to you.
No, absolutely the same point I was going to make. I mean, Jake Arthur worked against Newcastle and that's probably brought him a reprieve. Unfortunately or fortunately.
It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. If we're being honest, it's unfortunate. For the dynamic of this team, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It worked against Newcastle and it should probably work again against the Cowboys, but far be it from me to say that there's any easy games in the NRL after what the Tigers did to us.
Look, I know I cop a lot of shit for saying stuff like this, but in all honesty, I could have been running around there in number 6 against Newcastle and, kicking the ball long and dropping it. I could have been, putting my head in the wrong place to make tackles. I could have been out there and we still would have won against Newcastle. So it doesn't solidify the lineup. And that's what's worried me with the team list again today. I'll go through it quickly. At number 1, we have Clint Gutherson, 2, Hayes Perham, who's slotting in nicely. I think he's playing quite well. Will Penasini, still learning his craft as a centre, no longer a winger. Thank goodness he's back in the centres. And number 4 is Dylan Brown, the first time he's officially been named in the centres, named at number 4. Ridiculous decision. Bailey Simonson playing very well. He's getting better and better week in, week out, and he's starting to get a nice combination going with Will. And so number 6 is Jake Arthur, has been named at 5'8". It's ridiculous to have him in that position. And once again, people will be saying, well, we beat Newcastle. Anyway. Number 7, Mitch Moses is having a fantastic season. He's absolutely killing it at the moment. He's he's leading the try assists for the competition. He's in Supercoach. He is just smashing it with big numbers week in, week out. A lot of people buying him, and he's just going gangbusters. Number 8, Regan Campbell-Gillard. I don't know why he wasn't rested last week with his busted foot, but who are we to ask questions like that? 9 is Reed Show Me the Money. He had a big game against Newcastle as well. Once again, Supercoach points over 100. Junior Paulo, as always, rock solid. Number 10. 11, Shaun Lane had a great game. I thought he was powerful. And that's the Shaun Lane that we want to have. And if there's one positive to having Bill Bags out there, it's the fact that he's right next to Shaun, and him and Shaun they're like a power couple. Shaun Lane had 11. 12, Isaiah Papali, the Iceman returneth, as they say. He had a brilliant game as well. Paper thin defense, but he did still have to burst through it. He had a great game. 13, Nathan Brown, starting to hit his strides as well. 14, Maka, solid as always. 15, Ryan Matterson had a brilliant game, I thought. He's starting to crunch people the way that he used to. Now, what normally happens with Ryan is he comes in and starts hitting the ball hard, making big tackles, and then all of a sudden he'll get knocked out cold and then go back to square one. But why he's not wearing headgear, I don't know. 16 is Oregon Kafusi, and 17, your man, Bryce Cartwright, named on the bench. And he got a few minutes in last week, which was good. And that's the team list Tuesday. What are your thoughts on that, Johnno?
Yeah, I mean, besides the obvious, the elephant in the room, which is becoming a broken record. I mean, Jake at 6, it worked against Newcastle. The Cowboys are a danger game. We're playing them in Darwin.
Yeah.
It's hot and humid, just like Townsville.
And they'll
And
have the
Cowboys are on a
fan.
roll.
Yeah, they'll have the fan base too. I mean, they've got more fans in Darwin than we do, and
And
they've got some big forwards. Their forwards are hitting form. That they're young forwards, Lukey and Nanai. That Jeremiah Nanai is, geez, he's a talent, isn't he? He's a player of the future, and he's just signed on with them. And I think that Chad Townsend and Tom Dearden are starting to get their combination going as well. This is a danger game. Valentine Holmes is looking powerful. He's looking dangerous, and coming
he's
up
pulling on that maroon jersey already.
I was just going to say, coming up to State of Origin. I mean, he always does it around this time of the year, the prick. So, Scott Drinkwater's at fullback. Why he hasn't been in the team like he was last week, but a few weeks before, I don't know what they were doing with him. I mean, he's such a talented player.
He was here playing for the Mackay Cutters, helping us put 50 on the Ipswich Jets.
Why? Just you scratch your head with some of these decisions. Now, if the coach has decided that he's going to stick him back there, kind of a slap to the face and go, get in form. I like that. You're like, that's old school. That's what Jack Gibson used to do in the 80s. It's like, you're not performing. You're back to reserve grade. Oh, that's humiliating. I'm going to show him, and that's what they used to do. And I think that's what they've done with Scott Drinkwater. But
well, they had the hammer there. They had MUI.
But he's a winger more. He's more of a winger, I think. But
I think they've put him back in the wing now.
He's not in the team. I don't think he's in the team. Hammer.
That's why I think
the
Hammer was there. Yeah, and then he got hurt, and they brought Scott Drinkwater back in. Yeah. He's added a lot more stability and a lot more calmness. I mean, Hammer's a great player and he's fast, but he's not.
They've named Hammer at 19, so maybe he might be a late inclusion. We'll have to keep our eye on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. This is such a dangerous game.
Such a danger
game. The Cowboys, they just thumped the Titans.
Yeah.
Over the weekends, they're in form. We're playing them in Darwin, which is Townsville-esque, hot and humid and muggy. The ball's going to be slippery. If it's raining, it's been raining here all week. So if it's raining in Darwin, rain's the great equalizer.
It really is. And we had a cruisy game. We had a cruisy game.
Yeah, this could have been more dangerous for us.
Yeah,
really.
And
we're starting Jakey at 5'8". And Dillbag's a center. And
so
if he's going to get exposed, this week will be the week.
All right. So I'm prepared to say that if Jakey can fire against the Cowboys, I'm happy with him being in the team against the Panthers, because this is a test. This is a good team. They've got these young forwards are good. I mean, they've also got Jordan McLean and Cohen Hare. So they got some. Oh, let's not forget Jason Tamalolo. They've got a big pack. So, and they're going to go. You think they're not going to go after Jake Arthur? You think they're not going to target him? And this is a danger game.
Yeah, it couldn't be any more of a danger game. Jakey Arthur's going to have to tackle Jason Tamalolo a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Like, they will go after him.
Yeah.
And they'll pressure his kicks. They'll pressure his passes. Once he's tired from all that tackling, then he's going to get pressured and attack. And he's already half a step off the pace. You can see that against Newcastle. It wasn't exposed against Newcastle, but it's going to be exposed against the Cowboys. And it'll be more exposed, heaven forbid, against the Panthers, and then against the Roosters at Magic Round.
Yeah.
And then we got Manly after Magic Round. So this lineup can't be sustained, I don't think, personally.
He's not ready. He's just not ready.
Week.
And unless
the elite teams are going to pick him apart.
Yeah, 100% they are. I mean, I think this is a good test, and I'm hopeful that Tom Opacek will come back in time for the Panthers game. But then does Jake go back to sitting on the bench? And he's the worst bench player. I'm better with him starting the game than I am sitting on the bench, because he provides nothing off the bench. He's not a bench player. He's not a utility. He can only play that middle role.
Yeah. At least he provides something on the field, although
Yeah.
it's not to the standard that we would like.
No.
But it's better than nothing, I guess.
True.
Not that
And
I'm happy with it.
I'm not happy with
either.
it, but having Bryce on the bench, see, it's his catch-22, isn't it? Because Bryce is that impact player. So, you know, he brings that spark at the end of a game that we need. But it's just going to be how much Jake gets found out at, you know. Once again, I'm not death riding the kid. I'm just calling what I see, and what I see is that he's not ready. And he has sparks, and he's going to be a great player. I can see that he's very calming, like he's very cool under pressure. To his credit, he just has to develop a few of his skills, and he will be at that level. I think he needs to put on 10 kilos or so. I don't know. He's rake thin.
Yeah.
That's going to come naturally in the next year. I don't know. Like, once again, you don't death ride your team at all. Like, obviously I want to beat the Cowboys, but this is what I was saying was I would rather lose to the Cowboys than lose to Panthers. I think we really need to beat this Panther team. We need the confidence in us going forward, going, hey, we've rolled Storm, we've rolled Panthers, see you in the finals, you know, and whatever happens between here and the finals, so be it. But if we go up against the Storm in the finals, they're going to shit themselves because we've got their number, and they're going to have it in their head. These fuckers have rolled us the last few times. And it's going to be the exact same if we come up against the Panthers and they beat us. They're going to be like, oh, we've rolled these guys the last few times, you know, and they're a very arrogant, very cocky team, especially with their Viking clap, which was pretty disrespectful, to be honest. It was, you know, you don't really want to, I know they're just messing about, but you don't, when you're flogging
the arrogance,
team,
the arrogance of the team and the players has seeped into their fan base now.
Yeah.
So, and it's disappointing, I guess, but I get it.
Yeah.
But what goes around comes around, man.
But this is why I want to beat them, and I think it's really important for us. What if we get flogged against the Panthers? What does that do to our morale moving into the finals? I mean,
back to square one.
Oh, we really are. I mean, and this is our year, as we keep saying. I mean, it's annoying because you can see that we've got the team on paper. And you just look through that team and it's just like, Jake he's not first grade material just yet. And it's very divisive amongst the fan base. You can see a lot of the comments saying the same thing that we're saying. And it's horrible because once again, you don't, you know, you support the team, you support the players. And I don't want to lose him. I don't want him to go to another club. I just want him to keep staying in New South Wales Cup. And you know, there's so many different options. You can easily stick Cartwright in the centres and you can stick Wiremu Greg on the bench. I mean, that's it, taken care of. And that's a powerful team. Now, people argue that Cartwright is defensively, you know, questionable. He's not as good as Dylan Brown, but we run the risk of Dylan Brown getting injured. He's up against the likes of Peter Hiku and Valentine Holmes and you know, he's a very good defender, Dillbags, and he's a very good attacking weapon too. I worry about sticking him out in the centres. I really do. I think he should be just masterclassing 5'8". He should just be masterclassing. I mean, you don't see Storm sticking Munster out in the centres when, you know, they're short a centre, do you? I mean, you just don't see it. You don't see Luai getting sent out into the centres when, you know, the Panthers are short. They just bring one of the youngsters through. It's better to bring one of the youngsters through and stick them in the centres than it is to get your informed pivot and stick him out on the wing. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, and it's very frustrating.
And once again we circle back to the who's pulling Brad up on these decisions, and the answer is nobody. Nobody.
So what's Mary McGregor doing at the team? Like, what is his role at the moment? Like, I don't know. You don't hear from him. You don't see him. Is he there? I don't even know if he's there. I mean, I thought we were getting him in to stop BA from doing this kind of shit.
God, Mary McGregor, Mick Ennis, anybody?
Now I can
No
understand
one.
Mick Ennis being. It's like, okay, if they've brought Mick in and they've gone, okay, Mick, you're in charge of Reed, and Mitch Rain and Brendan Hands. We want you to just control the hookers. Okay, I understand that role if that's his role, but I don't know if his role is more than that. I don't know if he's to input into team strategy or has got any. He's obviously got no input into team selection. But what's Mary doing? Is Mary is he even there? Did he turn up? Did
They announced that we signed him, but I haven't seen
him. Is he sitting in the box?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm just not looking for him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just every time I look at the box, I'm just looking at BA. Is he sitting in the box? I mean,
I would have to go back to the Newcastle game and see if there's a coach's box shot of him, but I don't recall.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's doing media press days or
No.
anything. I haven't seen him rocking around in the Eels polo anywhere. So
I mean, you barely
no
see
idea.
David Kidwell around. I mean, you see him around though, but defensive coach, you kind of see him around, and I don't know.
Defensive coach, and keeping in mind that our team was statistically the worst defensive team in the competition up until last week.
Yeah. So what do? We extend the contract of the defensive coach. I mean, there's no accountability in the team whatsoever. There really is no. I mean, you try getting away with that at work. You try getting away with you being the worst. If you're a contract worker, you're the worst employee in the whole business, and you've got a worst record against all your competitors. And they go, oh, we're going to extend you for, no accountability. It just doesn't work that way. I mean,
and you wonder why the team hasn't won a premiership in so long.
It's so annoying this year.
Ongoing.
It's just annoying because we have the firepower this year. We've got the team. We as we keep saying, we've got the horse, don't have the jockey. I don't think BA's the man. Big fan of his. I think he's done great getting the team where it is. He's a lovely guy. But making these decisions and having people to sit on the bench, not playing any minutes in a game, keeping RCG out there with a busted bloody ankle. I mean, how long did Bellyache keep Pappenhausen on last night, with his busted ankle? Like he made sure the game was won and then pulled him off. So it was like,
I
don't know.
Yeah. Man. I feel like the team and the fans, the players seem to have the urgency of knowing that this is a big opportunity.
Yeah.
But the coaching staff and some of the questions around, even Kidwell, defensively, BA with his bench rotation and his team selections, seems like the staff don't have the same level of urgency or the same, this is do or die this season.
Yeah.
And it seems like the coaching staff, at least, seem to think it's okay to just keep going through the motions how they are.
I tell you what, they're not going to get that many more bites at the cherry. I mean, maybe that's why BA's pushing his son through now, because he's like, well, if we don't win this year, I could be out on my ear. David will be out on his ear. Maybe Mary will take over. I don't know. Maybe Mary's trying to disassociate himself from, the failure. I don't know, man. Like, it just seems weird.
And the thing is, we can't even call it a failure. We're third in the comp. And
yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Well, I love how we're sitting here saying, and that's back to your point.
Yeah.
This is the level of expectation now.
It's not good enough just to win.
We're sitting here calling it a failure. We're third in the comp.
Yeah.
We're behind the Storm, and we're one win behind the Storm, and we're 2 wins behind Penrith.
We're sitting third. We can see that the writing's on the wall. We can see what's going to happen. We've watched it for 30, 40 years. We've just watched this happen, that the team just falls apart. And, we've had the firepower before and we've done the same stupid things, So I don't know, man. It's just, it's just this year. Losing Reed is gonna put a full stop on this team.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have to build around a new hooker, and we don't know who that is. I mean, is it Hodgson? I don't know if he's going to be good enough to. His knee's going to.
I don't know if he'd be there like that. Isn't there a rumor going around that Parramatta have the option to not sign him, and they're looking at not signing him? Like,
who do
I
we
mean,
sign?
that's
Who do we sign? Like, I'd rather have him than. I mean, Mitch Rain is good, but I don't think he's going to win us a premiership. You know,
no.
who's going to win us a
Brendan,
premiership? Reed Mahoney. Like
Yeah.
Reed Mahoney.
Yeah, Reed Varney.
We keep saying if he was with us last year, if he didn't get injured last year, we
win the premiership.
would have had a really good shot at winning the premiership last year. He is a premiership winning hooker. He is a state of origin hooker. He's, you know, and he's not that far behind Harry Grant. But once again, he's learning, he's developing still. He's getting better and better. He's still making silly plays as well. You know, we've spoken about him setting up field goals and that he's struggled a bit with his decision making there. But as soon as he sorts that all out, you know, he's going to be an absolute gun. I mean, defensively, he's a natural defender. He's got an engine on him. He can play 80 minutes, but for some reason, BA plays him for 60. That seems to be what he's been doing the last few years.
And he's a natural attacker too. Like, he nails a 40-20 out of nothing.
He does, and he can skirt from dummy half within, you know,
he finds
at the try
gaps,
line.
man. Yeah, absolutely. He's brilliant and
pretty good at his crash plays as well. Like he can put the forwards into the gaps. I mean, you know,
Reid, you're right. That's the full stop on our premiership window. On top of, you know, Marauders going and Oregon's going and Iceman's going. So that's it. I mean, just
Greystone's going. I mean,
that's it. Like, that's it. Like, this is it. We know this is it.
And that's why we're panicking. And that's why we're panicking now, because it's like, okay, we're looking good. You know, we had good win against the Storm. You know, we're looking powerful. We had a hiccup against Tigers. Like how we had that hiccup does my head in. We should be beyond that. Now we're putting deal bags in this. This is silly thing.
Our two losses were, you know, and our two losses were on the siren. I mean, can make the argument. Had in both situations, it's just nailed a simple field goal. So we'd be undefeated with the Panthers.
Well, I think Mitch had a conversion too against the Sharks to win the game for us too, didn't he? I think he did. So
you know,
if he had nailed that, if you know, you're dead right. We could be sitting at number one on the table, you know. And the writing's on the wall.
Buts and maybes at this. It's buts and maybes at this point. All we can do, go out there, beat the Cowboys. Next week is the measuring stick.
It really is, you know.
And we can't have Jake Arthur trotting out at 5'8" next week.
I just hope the guy.
I don't care even if we beat the Cowboys. When we can't.
Same.
Dylan can't be playing center against try to tackle, kick out, and who's down that edge? Crichton, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
that's even more. Kick out by himself. I mean, Dylan could get seriously injured. I mean, you know, you've got to be a big body to play center these days.
And being the center, you've got to be the escort on the bomb kicks.
Yeah, good call.
So if Dillbag's running escort on kick out,
good luck.
And he's already hurt his back.
Yeah.
He had those back fractures.
Yeah.
We could lose Dylan out of position.
I would love so badly for Murata. If Murata's healthy against Panthers, tick him in the centers up against kick out.
Yeah.
What, you know, he's a beast. Just having him back that 1 week, the way he just runs the ball, the way he hits, so he just shuts down that side. I mean, no one's running in tries down that side with Murata there. And also with Dillback there, to be fair, like Dylan's such a good defender. Like, they've just shut down that side.
I mean, ideally, my dream backline going into the finals, assuming everyone makes it back okay, is Gutho, Sivo, Penasini, Nakore, and Wanga Blake.
It's not a bad. That's not a bad backline, is it?
I mean, unfortunately, Sean Russell and Bailey Simonson, perhaps unfairly, misses out. But Wanga Blake has absolutely proven himself at winger, and Wanga Sivo, assuming he's back to 100%.
Yeah.
Along with Niokore defensively and Will Penasini attackingly.
Yeah.
With Dillbag and Mitch and Reid in the middle.
If we can have that lineup going into the finals, we're looking pretty bloody good. I mean, as you said, like Bailey's been playing really well. It's just Wonga was playing better. And Sean Russell's, he's a try-scoring machine, but you'd still probably have Sivo just for that impact from 10 meters out if he's in form, and how long it takes him to get fit. But going into the finals with that lineup is pretty bloody good.
That would be, I'd be very happy with that lineup. Very strong defensively, very big back line.
Yeah.
But we've got to get through this patch first. We've got to get through Origin. We've got to get through the form slot that comes after Origin.
Yeah.
The inevitable.
Do we have any players that are going to be playing Origin? I mean, I think Junior Paulo will.
Reg Jr. and Mitch will probably be in the squad.
And
not play. And Reed will probably be in the Queensland squad.
Well, Harry Grant is going to be, the hooker, I think, for Queensland. Depends if he's injured
Depends. Yeah.
I think
Reg and Junior should.
Regan Campbell Gillard, I was just saying, he should be there.
Yeah.
If
and
I was
maybe even Nathan
team,
Brown.
Nathan's probably one step off, but Regan's definitely, he wants it. You can see he wants it, and he's hit hard for it, and he'd do the job. He would definitely do the job.
With Junior off the bench, man, you could just rotate those two.
Yeah.
With Fisher Harris. Who was your other prop? Fisher Harris, maybe?
No,
I thought he was a Kiwi.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway.
Can't remember.
New South Wales is it's already looking good going in Origin for you guys. I wasn't going to say anything. It's a pretty formidable, but hey, we got Valentine Holmes looking all right, and Cam Munster's looking all right, and
Cam's
Harry Grant and Reed Mahoney could be like a duo, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
know. It's always a good series. It's always good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it will be.
So something for us to look forward to.
That's it.
All right, brother. We might call it quits there then. I think we pretty much just spoke about the same thing over and over, but it's so frustrating. I mean, I would love to be talking about other stuff like, how good Hayes Perham is filling in. You know what I mean? Like he's just slotting in nicely. As we said, Bailey Simonson starting to play really well. Mitch Moses just going to another level, but we're just getting caught up, and I think rightfully so. Caught up on Jake Arthur being in the team. I mean, he really shouldn't be in the team. And moving forward, I'm really worried about what you said. Okay, let's say that we've got Sivo in, and Murata's in, and we've got our full strength team, and then Jake Arthur on the bench. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If that's going to be the case, I'd rather have like Bailey Simonson on the bench who fills in a lot of positions, and you know what I mean? Like then we start to move into danger territory as well. So, it's the thing is like people are like, oh, what are you worried about? This is so far. It's like we can see it coming, and it's happened a long time. So
it's happening again. Players are getting burnt out. Players are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Shitty bench rotation. Shitty team selection sheets. It can't happen. This cannot happen this year.
It can't happen.
It can't.
It can't.
We're fucked.
We're looking at the next 3 years rebuilding. I mean,
I
don't know, unless we buy someone, I don't know what hookers are available, but why buy a hooker when we've already got one? It doesn't make any sense. Like why? Oh, okay, we're going to we're saying the same shit over and over, but we'll give it a miss. Yeah. All right, brother.
Welcome to the life of an Eels fan, mate.
It really is.
Fun.
It's why we started this, so we could just vent for half an hour every week and get it off the chest. It's no good just leaving it inside. It's just let it out.
Yeah. I love these therapy sessions. I mean, podcasts.
All right, brother. Well, I'll catch up with you next week then.
Absolutely, mate. Go Parra.
Go Parra.